Welcome back, everybody, to Gutsy Hunter TV. Glad to have everybody here. We are currently working our way to a new episode and a new guide for Ultimate Fishing Simulator. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to go ahead and create a normal profile. I don't think in this one that we're going to go ahead and use the camera. I'll leave that up to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that or not. I personally, every once in a while, I like to flip to it just because it's a change of scene, but with this one, though, we'll go normal just so we can go ahead and have the use of the bite indicator. And if you guys choose that you want to see the underwater camera, we'll have that available. Later on, we can go ahead and make another one with the realistic, which takes away the bite indicators, 100 vision, some of those other perks that are different to this game than others. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so first things first that we're going to do, we'll skip the tutorial. That's what we're here to do. So let's go ahead and kill the music here. All right, let's verify the settings. I think we're good here, though. Let's go ahead and just see. I'm going to change my tension indicator. I usually use one of these two. This is the one that I typically use, though. Float size is 100. Also, if you guys are not keen on the grams and kilograms, here's where you would check the box for inches and pounds. So I played enough of Russian Fish before and some of the other games that I leave it on the metric. So automatic netting, we'll do that to make it a little easier for us. So control wise, typical WAS or WSAD. To cast distance wise is your left mouse, right mouse button is just to kind of give it a toss. Reel out, you'll typically use that, you know, if you're needing to drop your float down deeper. Your turn off your drag is your scroll wheel on the mouse. Pump is just basically right clicking, holding it down and letting go. Let's see, drag is also the mouse wheel. What did they do? Oh, turn off drag. Okay. Then increase and decrease reel speed, R and F. We don't need any ground bait this time around. We'll be in the boat on this episode. So I will put the rod pod down if we have one. We won't have one starting off though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started then. Okay, let me go ahead and let's cover these icons at the top. This right here is where you would start your fishing adventures. We will start at Betty Lake. That's the first lake that we come to. Second one is if you wanted to create a tournament, so you can go ahead and do so and allow up to, I think it's 8. Oh no, they moved it up to 10 now. So you can have 10 players in the tournament. Time of completion or goal. So goal, amount of fish, total weight or biggest weight. So it's kind of a little fun tournament. The next one is your inventory. And so this icon right here is everything in the store. So don't get that confused. This is not what you start with. However, if we go and look at what we have, start with our rods. So usually I just begin over on this side because this is actually what is already equipped. So starting off, we've got a spinning rod, a Takino DXP with a max weight of 2.2 kilograms. So keep that in mind. And our line is only 0.4 kilograms. So that is the weakest point in our setup at this point, at this spot that we're in. So very much a starter setup. This right here is your hook size, or the hooks that we have. Right now, we have hook sizes 8, 6, 4, and 2. The way this works is that 8 is the smallest in this lineup. And then as you go up towards 0, that's the hooks become larger. Once you hit the 0, or what we call the aught, you start going 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, 4/0. So 1/0 actually would be the smallest hook in that series, and then all the way up to probably 8/0, I would imagine. I don't usually see anything too much larger than that when you're freshwater fishing. So, but for us, because we are starting small and we don't want to overfish, I think a 6 will probably be just fine right here. So let's go ahead and go to our reel, the next most important thing. So you can remember we got 2.2 here, 0.4 here, and then here we have 1.7. Realistically, the line is going to be our biggest difference. You can see there's almost probably over a kilo of difference in strength. So we'll have to kind of be careful of what we do. We'll have to be playing with our drag system quite a bit, and then that way that'll go ahead and ensure that we can keep fishing without breaking off. So our float, this is probably an important section. If you do a lot of float fishing, you're going to see here we're given the optimal weight. Well, right now, if we look down here in the bottom right, our optimal weight is set at 2 grams, so we're good there. But let's say we bought one that was kind of optimal weight was like 3 grams, right? But what we would need to do then is we would need to go into the store and go to other and other again. And you can see here's float weights. So we could buy additional weight and then add that to that. So let's say it was a maximum was 3. Oh, we got a 2 gram. Well, we need to add another gram. So we would just buy that 1 gram right here, and then we would go ahead and put it on. So that'll hopefully help you with that. I had a few questions on that last time. Let's go ahead and set our float length. I like to go about halfway, so about 150 centimeters, which is 1.5 meters down. So, and then last but not least is our bait. In this case, we start off with a fly. We do have 30 of them, so it'll be okay for a little bit. We should be able to catch a few fish with that. So moving on. This is your player card, basically. So it kind of gives you a profile or a view of what you've done so far in the game. Obviously, we're all zeros right now. But the main thing that we want to focus in here is the skills. And we'll start being able to unlock skills at level 2. Until I know which way you guys want to go in this series. When we get to level 5, I'll probably leave off Hunter Vision for now. Hunter Vision just allows you to see under the water and see where the fish are kind of congregated. It takes away from that fishing experience. It does add a different viewpoint, which kind of can be exciting and fun, but I think some people get dependent on it and overuse it. So, but what I typically do, we won't worry about an auger right now. That's for when you go fishing at the Betty Lake ice during the wintertime. So, but typically what I focus on first is I like to get experience. I'll go ahead and unlock that one first. And then I like to get lower prices, obviously, in the store. We like to save money where we can, and then strength. So those will be the first 3 that we level up, and we'll go from there. But that's just my preference. You guys are welcome to do whatever you like on your own playthrough, but definitely that's what I would suggest. Going into friends, this is if you have any friends that you play with, or when you're actually in game on the map, it'll show you the people that are loaded in. You can kind of hit them up. The encyclopedia, a very handy little tool here if you're not familiar with a certain species you're fishing for. Let's say we were going after bull trout. You can see the best weather conditions for them. It's going to be morning and noon and a little light wind. If you get anything more than light wind, you're probably going to not do as well. If you're using lures to catch them, though, you want to either use a straight slow presentation, a straight lift and drop, twitch and go, or stop and go and twitching. And I'll show you those. It may not be this episode because we won't be doing a lot of lure fishing this time around. It'll probably be the next couple episodes when we can get some decent gear and get a decent lure. So, but very handy to have this if you guys need to. Just make sure to hit that up. Leaderboards just shows you everybody in the game who has been knocking it out of the ballpark. You can see that we have somebody here that's 443,000 kilograms. They've been fishing for a while, so this here is our trophy lodge. Obviously, our trophy lodge is going to be empty, but as you collect large fish, it will automatically put them in the walls and everything here for you. So to exit out of that, just hit escape. Let's see here. Fishery Editor. I've not played with this one. Let me see what we've got here. This usually... Okay, so you can kind of create your objects and whatnot. Okay, I see, I get it. So it's kind of just a environmental / player editor, so you can see things a little differently when you're on the map, on the game itself. So, and of course, settings where we just started at the beginning of the video. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in here. So we'll be looking at some rainbows, some brown trout, brook, bull trout, cutthroat, burbot-eyed, and pumpkin seeds. I only speak English, so I apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and just kick that there so we can see other players around us. But let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, everybody. So here we are on the player map. Well, we got somebody right here in front of us. Look at that. As you can see, it loads in. You start off at a default peg. And so to see that, go ahead. Now we have this icon, which is the map now that we're on the game. So if you click escape and then go to the map icon, this will show you where you're at. So right now we're down here by peg number 4. But as you can see, there's a lot of deep water right around this end of the lake. A lot of the bigger fish are going to hide that. And then, of course, you got your deepest part right here. Typically, my favorite is to go right here on peg number 3. Is that anybody around my other side here? Okay. Good. Get out of the water here a little bit. So I'm not splish splashing. Okay. So before we throw anything, you can see down in the bottom left, we do have some guide to shortcut type things. That'll help you guys with that if you get kind of stuck. But what we're going to do, remember, we're at 1.5 meters down, or 150 centimeters. So we're going to go ahead and let's cast out. And let's give that a good zip right there. Okay. And then you can see in the right middle there, we can kind of see our float a little bit there. We're just waiting for that to go down. So once again, we're not going to use camera view at this point. But you could do the camera view and you could kind of watch the fish as they're swimming around underneath your bait or right at your bait. The reason I like this spot, this is kind of like a fish highway. They like to travel between the rock and the shore right through here. So we'll see if we pick up a bite here. You don't get a bite after a minute. What I typically will do is I'll just reel it in a little bit and give it a little movement. While we're waiting, up in the upper top, you can kind of see your time of day. You can also see the wind. It looks like it's blowing about 13 meters per second. And then your temperature, 19 degrees Celsius. So it's a warm day with a gentle breeze. Although it does sound like it's a lot higher than it is. We're not getting a bite there. So we'll move it a little bit more. Now down in the bottom right, you can see that we have how far out we are, which is 15.4 meters. And then you can see we're down 1.5 meters in depth. And then you can see the reel, the front end of your reel at 0. That's your drag. So if I were to sit here, I can go ahead and typically I always like to start by at 0. We'll get a bite. There we go. You saw that we boosted that up right away. Gotta be careful about your want to keep that out of the red as much as possible. So there we go. Our first fish, rainbow trout. We got an achievement for that. It is 4.06 kilograms. Not bad. So we have a couple options here. We can sell him for $63, which may not be a bad idea. Or we can release him for the 11 experience points. Typically on these larger ones, I'll be honest with you, I like to sell them. $63 when we're first starting out is definitely, I mean, you'll still get experience. You could just get a little bit more experience points on top of your default. So that's a personal preference. The smaller fish, I'll typically throw them back for the additional experience just because they're not worth that much money. That was not a very good throw. So I'm going to put our reel speed down to a little bit slower so we don't have so much impact on our drag. Get that right back out there. Okay, so that was our first fish. Excellent. So now let's say we're fishing towards nighttime. If you push L, that is your flashlight. You can zoom in. Although our bobber is so small that even out there, it's very difficult to see it. So, but that's your Z key. I'm not gonna worry about reeling out, but you could if we needed to. And we're just at this point back to waiting again for another fish to come by. But RNF definitely while you're in battle can be pretty handy. So you want to make sure you always have your your fingers near the R and F keys. And then obviously your scroll, you know, if you need to apply less or more drag. So that fish we caught without using any drag because of the... Okay. So here we are just reeling. And what we can do is we can pump it and turn him around here. Make sure we stay out of the... Yellow's okay. Red is bad, obviously. We're just doing this to kind of keep him tired out. As soon as that gets to that red area, we have to let off. Otherwise, let's get him off that rock there. Okay, so we've tired him out doing the pumping action. Pumping once again, right click, right click, right click. Then we kind of bring him around to our front here. Ooh, a nice brown trout. So now this one is only 32, right? $32. You know what? Let's go ahead and we'll release him just so you can see the difference. So we'll get an additional 6 experience points off top of that. So we're almost to level 2 just by that. 2 fish, almost level 2. I did it again. Let me show you that also. Let me show you that lob. You guys can see that real quick. So let's say, you know, we just needed a real short cast. We don't need to go too far. You just to give it a zip. The click right there, you can see it just goes right by the shoreline. Typically, if you're flipping like that, probably going to be doing that for maybe the boat, maybe. To be honest with you, I don't use flipping a whole lot, so. But there's definitely options. You can see up there you have in the upper left, while we're waiting for another bite, you do have your chat window. So make sure if you guys want to say anything to anybody, just push F1 and say, hey, everybody. There you go. And then, of course, you have your down at the bottom, your quick key commands. So right now, oh, we're still on number 4 hook. That's why we're catching such big fish. I couldn't figure out why we were pulling out 2 and 4 kilo fish with a number 6 hook, but that makes sense. In this game, it is very proportional to your hook size. So the bigger your hook, the bigger the fish you're going to attract. So keep that in mind. If you don't have the gear to bring in bigger fish, don't use a bigger hook. Unfortunately, in this game, actually, no, this game does have bottom fishing, so you can do bottom fishing as well. Oh, we got a bite. There we go. So this fish is not too actively large. We'll give him a couple pumps here. Oh, got that red. Now what we could do if we need to, we could actually turn our... So there I just did a scroll wheel up, and our drag is set to 33 now. So we'll get him in here. And our cutthroat. So we've got 3 species of cutthroat so far. This one's only selling for 10. Let's take the 2 extra experience points. So if you guys do, you know, want to take a... Let's say this was a trophy that you wanted to take a photograph. Typical F12 will work for you on that as well. So let's go ahead and release for the extra 2. And just like that, we should be level 2 now. Let's take a look. So if we hit escape, go to our player card, we can unlock this now. So we have 1 skill point. So remember what we were going to do first. We want to unlock, we want more experience. We're going to go ahead and do that right now. So let me go ahead and do that once more time. So if we hit escape from the fishing window, we bring up our master menu. That's the escape key. Then we want to go to our player card, which is skills. And then we want to go here, and we're just going to unlock more experience. And there you go. Just like that, it's unlocked. Every fish we catch now is going to give us additional experience. So let's throw that back out there again. And then just the same wash, rinse, repeat. Now, the one thing I will say is the gear is level based, 1. And we'll go to the store here in just a minute. Let's see if we can get to the next level here real quick. But we can go ahead and you can see the prices are pretty high in the stores. On top of that, because it's also level based, it's also very challenging to make a balanced outfit or rig. We'll cover that probably in a later episodes. If you guys are enjoying this series, definitely let me know down in the comments. Hit the thumbs up. But this is just something that involves, just like any fishing game or hunting game that's out there in the market right now, a lot of grinding involved. So if you enjoy it, you're just casual. This is a fun game. But once again, you have to be prepared for that mindset. So you just might be sitting here for a minute. But let me just say, I enjoy this game. I'm excited for Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2 to come out. I played the demo and I really enjoyed it. I think they did well with some of the. We might have to drop our drag here on this one a little bit. Oh, he's swimming right to us. Never mind. Okay, so we got an eye. So now we have caught 4 species that are on this available on this lake to us. So you can see he sells for $3, but if we release, we don't get any additional experience. So in this case, if you look at it, let's take the $3 because we're only going to get 2 experience points out of it. So let's go ahead and sell it. So make a little, we'll half it up there, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get that back out there again. Now, if you guys find that the shortcuts there in the bottom left are bothering you, you just hit your key and it'll hide that window for you, so it's not so much clutter. You can also push F2. That hides the chat. So it kind of gives you a more open feeling on that. Zooming in, still really hard to see. We can adjust the bobber view inside the settings if we need to. I'm just used to looking at the window there on the middle right. So let's just see what happens here. Now, typically, if let's say we were in this spot, we've been moving our float here and there towards us and still not getting a bite, then I would probably pick up and move at that point. So we'll give that another moment here, see what happens. Go ahead and move that. It's only 7:30, almost 7:30, so not too worried about the bite rate slowing way down. But this is very much, this game is very much a sandbox type game. You don't have any specific missions to do. You kind of set your own pace. You also would be able to, set goals for yourself. Hey, like I want to be able to get this rod and reel set, in a week or two. Kind of, then you know what you need to be targeting fish wise, money wise. You can kind of see as you're going along, certain fish are going to be worth more money than others. So still not a bite. So this might be that opportunity I was talking about. So go ahead and give it one more reel. Once again, if we don't get a bite here, oh, fish boiled up right there in front of us. But if we don't get a bite here in just a moment, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pick it up, and we're going to go ahead and move to another spot. So, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Okay, let's go ahead and reel it in. All right. So once again, guys, to quickly move, we're going to go ahead and hit escape. We're going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm going to go to peg 5, just the opposite side of the lake where we were just at. Right off this rock. And then what I like to do is just give that a good fling right here out into the deep area. All right. Now, hopefully we should be able to track something here. Fog keeps rolling in and out. It's pretty nice. Very dynamic weather system in this game. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, so we're going to take the drag off there. Try to turn him around here. He's wanting to run. Nice thing about this lake is he can't really go that far away from us. I think we finally got him tired out there, so he may have another run in him, but hopefully not. I didn't turn so I turned my drag down in this case, so I scrolled down, but I left my reeling speed the same. If I'd have sped that up at all, that would increase more tension on the line, and we could have had a big, big issue there with the brake, even at 0 drag, because then... So you can see here, now this is a little different. So we've got a 4.5 or 4.05 kilo. I'll just round it, 4 kilo rainbow. And with that, we can sell him for $63, or if we sell him, we'll get 62 experience. So let me clarify that. So if you see that top line right there where it says $216, then there's our level, which is 2. So if we sell him, we'll get 216 and we get 62 experience. Okay. Or we get $63 with 62 experience. If we turn him back, we don't get any money, but we'll get an additional 12 experience. So we'd be sitting at what, 80 or 74. So in this case, to me, even though I like the experience, I'm going to go ahead and sell him because the money's a little better right there in that case. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, once again, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than glad to cover it again or explain it a little better. To cast out, I should have mentioned that earlier. I apologize. You definitely want to, hold down your left mouse button. You don't just click it. If you just click it, it just does a quick throw. And you don't get distance. To get distance, you saw when you hold it, you get that power meter. And then once that power meter fills up to the point where you want, then you just let go and then it throws it out there. So about halfway to 3/4, you can see we're getting out there about 17, between 17 and 19 meters if you do it that way. So, which on this lake is fine. It's a high mountain lake, so there's not a lot of area for them to go. Oh, fish boiled up right next to the bottom, but didn't take the bait, huh? That's all right. Here we go. Okay, so now we got another large fish that we got to kind of fight here. So we'll pump him a few times here, get that slack out of the line. Okay, so he's not going to be the largest fish in the world, but he's going to make me plop. So there we go. Oh, there we go. There's our 5th species now, a brook trout. So brook trout, and we just got an achievement for it. So you can see here, the brook trout sells for $10, and we get 10 experience. Or we can go ahead and just let him go for 12. In this case, $10 is not a whole lot of money. Let's go ahead and just release him. And then we'll take the extra experience in that case. So the little methodology, a little kind of gaming, I guess you could say. A method to my madness, at least, of what I do. So I kind of try to figure out what I'm going to do before I hit that, either save, sell them or let them go. Bigger fish is going to bring bigger money. At that point, I'd rather have that money. The small, medium fish, we can let them go. Let's take the extra experience so we can get up to level quicker. So try to get to level 3 so we could get to the store. I'd like to do the store discount. So, so this might be a little bit longer video, this first video. I apologize for that, but I want to make sure to kind of cover as much as I can, because if this is not something you guys want to see more of, I want to make sure at least I give the most information I can for those that are wanting to see at least how to. But I have no problem and would love to make a leveling guide out of this. So let's give him a few tugs here to tire him out. Oh, that was a little too much red there. Okay, so he's not going to run on us any further. Oh, burbot. So we have pretty much caught every fish on the lake. We haven't caught a pumpkin seed yet. So so here you can see if we sell them, we get $3. Or if we release them, no additional experience. So let's just go ahead and just sell for the $3. Okay. Need some bigger fish so we can get... let's throw this out in front of us this time. So we can get to that third level. So what I'll do is, if we get to level 3 here quickly, I'd like to go ahead and show you the store prices before we do the discount and after. Even though it's 10%, it can make a pretty good difference when you're needing to do, pre-planning. Say, hey, I need to. Okay, I'm level 3 now. I'd like to upgrade. Start looking at upgrades. I can't remember. I think your next really level that you can do anything is probably around level 5 or 7. So you'll be with this gear for a little while. But with this same rod and reel, you could actually get a spinner, and you can fish with your spinner, but you have to be careful with that as well, because just like what we're doing here, you have to be able to manipulate the fish. And this guy is not the biggest fish in the world, because obviously he's not putting up a very big fight. Let's see what we got here. Another eyed. So once again, it's only 2 experience. We'll sell that one. I need to get back into the rainbows. Let's flip it to the north end of the deep end here. Turn that drag up to 33 again. We can go ahead and quickly drop that down if we need to. We're just waiting for another bite here. Yeah, there we go. Not a big fish either. Usually you can tell if they're big, they're going to make a run on you. So this guy's pretty small. Another little brook trout. So we can kind of rush this. Let's go ahead and take the extra experience. Let's go ahead and see. Heck. Go back down here to 4. Then we'll go to the left a little bit. Go to this deepest part. So you can see we got fish kind of boiling up in front of us here. So for some reason it looks like our float is freaking out there. Doing the shimmy shake. Oh, let me get out of the way so you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see that now. So that's that window I was talking about on the far right. You see the float. I don't know what it's doing there, but there it goes. It finally settled down. So basically you're just watching. As soon as we get a bite here, you'll be able to see. It's still a little difficult, so you do have to kind of focus on it. There we go, getting a bite. I've got the fish on. Okay, so hopefully you guys... so see, there you go. You saw... I had my... we were at 33% on the tension, and that was enough to go ahead and cause it to snap. But we got some bigger fish right here, so let's get that back out there. So when you break your line, it's not the end of the world. You have spares, basically, so it just automatically repopulates your rig with new line, basically, or whatever broke off, whether it be the hook, the float, sinkers. So when you break off, it's not the end of the world like in some of the other fishing games. Now in realistic mode, that might be different. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually played realistic mode. As soon as we get a bite, I'll move out of the way again so you guys can kind of see that how that works again. There we go. So you can kind of see. Okay, so we dropped it back down to 0. Oh. So this is a little bit bigger fish. So let me get back over here. So actually, it's not as big as I thought it was. He's coming right in now. Okay, so we got a bull trout. That's our first bull trout as well. So now this is kind of one of those other ones. So if we release him, you know, we get an extra 7 XP on top of the 31. Or if we sell him for 32, let's go ahead and get the extra XP. So let's take a look at our player card. What does that put us at now? So we are 25 experience away from level 3. So let's go ahead and get that back out there then. See if we get us a fish that'll give us, you know, 20, 25 experience. Nope, we're gonna buy it here. Okay, so we got a more decent fish here. I can turn around here a little bit and pace this. This might be the 25 experience point fish we're hoping. He brought up a little splash there. Okay, so we got a bull trout here. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to do just the opposite. So he's going to give us 34 base experience right here. So basically what, 41 if we threw him back. But let's go ahead and keep the $35 this time. And we just leveled up your little ding there. So let's go ahead and let's go to the store first before, because I think we have a skill point now. Yeah, we do. Okay. So let's go to the store first and see what prices look like. Excuse me. So let's see here. Let's say we're ready for a new rod. Well, we can just take it out. Let's take a look at it anyway. So this is the one we have. You can tell by the icons here. We have it in our, we own it and it's in our inventory. Okay. So you can see this one is $160 at a level 1. The next one is also a level 1, 179. And we gain, what, 0.7 kilogram in strength. And then you go to the next one, 200, but you get 3.7, right? So let's say, okay, we want the Tsubaki 632. So we know we're going to spend $200 if we didn't have that perk. Let's go ahead and spend the perk now. So I'm going to do lower prices. Okay. So we've unlocked that now. Let's go back to the store. And so the Tsubaki was 200, now it's 180. So that's why I like to pick up that skill as soon as possible. We do have $320 if we would, let's see here. So that was 3.7. If we look at reels, spinning reel, this is the one we currently own. 1.7, 2.3, 3.3. So we'd have to go with this one right here. So that's another $193. Just to get a little more strength. But there's, I mean, it doesn't sound like a huge amount when you go from 1.7 to 2.3, but there actually is quite a bit of difference right there. But definitely before we even bought a new rod and reel, I would even look at updating our line. So if we go to line, here's what we currently got, right? 0.4. Then we got to 0.9. So we went with this yellow line, we would be more in line with the equipment that we currently have. So that'd be $146. So on the next episode, let's go ahead and do that so that we can see that. But let's go ahead and stop right here. I don't want to make this video too long, but I did want to make sure I covered as much as I could in this first video. If you guys enjoy this type of video for this game, let me know. I'll be more than glad to continue it. We'll kind of convert it into a leveling guide as well. So, but hopefully the information provided is what you were looking for, and hopefully you got what you needed. If not, once again, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it, what you'd like to see differently maybe. And then also let me know if still you'd like to see more. But with that, we'll wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for the love and support continually giving out on the channel. Couldn't do this without you. It makes it a lot more fun of a journey having you guys along with me. So I appreciate you. Until next time, take care.